What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Tech Convo Podcast with me, Chims. Today, joining me on the podcast, I have a guest with me who is Emma Kamau. Emma, welcome to the Tech Convo Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here today, guys.
Yes, and we are happy to have you as well. And our audience will get to enjoy the conversation that we are going to have today for them. So, just as we start the conversation, who is Emma Kamau?
Oh, I love that question. I love talking about myself. I'm joking. But Emma Kamau is a determined and hardworking person with a very big mission and goal for herself, and is somebody who is not afraid to take up space in places. Essentially, I'm somebody who understands my value, and whenever I go somewhere, I know what I bring.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting introduction. So as we get started, so today we are looking at your entrepreneurship journey as well as content creation, because we want to look at how these two tie in together. So just tell us a bit about how you started your entrepreneurship as well as creating content.
So for me, entrepreneurship and content actually just blended. I started content creation because I was pursuing entrepreneurship. When I started my first business, I couldn't afford to pay influencers what they were asking me for. So I just decided to grow my own following and community so that I should never be in a position where I necessarily have to depend on somebody else to represent my brand, because you find you rely on someone today, but then they're not you. So you don't know what they'll do tomorrow, if there'll be in a scandal, and imagine that's the face of your brand.
Yes.
So I wasn't willing to risk it. So I said, I'm going to grow my own following, which was now content creation, in order for me to promote my business.
Yes, and then this is something that is very important. I think a lot of people today are getting to realize that aspect. But you are one of the first few people to really blend in entrepreneurship and content creation, because from how I see it, a lot of people are entrepreneurs love to sit in the background and just let somebody else be the face of the business.
Yeah.
So why is it very important for a person who is an entrepreneur to be creating content as well and showing up on social media? Because to some people it seems like it's a lot of work.
It is, but when you think about it, nowadays people buy things off of emotion. They don't necessarily buy the thing because of the thing. And we're living in a space where every single field you're in, whatever market you're doing, is most likely than not saturated.
Yes.
So you then now ask yourself a question: how do I make myself different? Why am I the person that people buy this thing from? It's you. You are the secret sauce. You are the secret ingredient. So if you are hiding yourself as the owner in the background, no one else can communicate your mission and your plan for you the way you do it. So you gain nothing by taking a back row in it. It's not even about the way you look or the way that you dress. The best thing that you can do as a business owner is just present yourself as the best version of yourself. And people will relate to your story more than they will a pretty face who advertises your brand. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, and I think for our audience, because we have an audience of developers as well, so you'd find that a lot of people are into mobile development, web development. Most of us, we don't like to show up and be in there on social media. We just have to build things. But then one conversation that people have been having in like these groups that we are in is, we are failing to sell. So you'd find that somebody has got good skills. They can build websites, they can build mobile applications, but the selling aspect is failing. And that's where now we find that a lot of people who are in business, who are running tech companies in Zambia, are not even like into the tech space. That's because of showing up. And it's something that is very important. How did you basically just get to start creating content?
After my friend convinced me for such a long time, almost a year, I just decided I was going to do it. And the way I was received really made it easy for me to continue to be in the space.
Yes.
It's not easy because it doesn't always happen like that, but I was very fortunate, and it just literally grew from there. Like, it wasn't something I planned on doing, like I always say, but it's something that I'm so glad I did. And it just started as easy as just removing my phone and figuring out what I wanted to be known for and starting to talk about it. I feel like we just like overly complicate things by waiting for perfection, lights, cameras, mics, all of these things. Like we're waiting for things to be a certain way to just do it. But then like the easiest way to start is just to start exactly where you are with exactly what you have and you build from there. As long as you have a goal at the back of your head, it doesn't matter what's there now. It doesn't matter what's in front of you. I will sit here and I'll tell you with 0K in my account that I'm going to drive the latest Mercedes Benz. My visions are not based off of what's existing. I'm just using what I have right now to get me to where I want to go. So just turn on your camera, wipe it, and just start recording.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an important concept. Even if you're starting with what you have, make sure you wipe your camera.
Yeah, because I started with a 7 Plus and I just wiped my camera and I stood by the window. There was no ring light. There was no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not as complicated as we make it out to be. Like, life is actually simple. Like, just entertain the best case scenario and just do it,
Yes. And this is something that is very important because the world we are living in today is driven by social media. Like, it's very much impactful for every person, be it a politician, a doctor. And I've seen people who are doctors, medical doctors, who are on social media and they're gaining good numbers. And I feel like for the brand of that person, it's really helping that person because even if they were to go to maybe look for employment at a certain hospital, you'd find that people already know who you are. They've seen your work and stuff like that. So it's very important. And I would encourage everyone who's listening to us right now, get your camera, turn it on and wipe it. Yeah, make sure you do. So what do you think could be something that would hinder a person from jumping into the tech content, the content creation journey, taking up a content creation journey?
The biggest thing that stops a lot of people is ourselves and what we tell ourselves in our brains. People will entertain the worst case scenario. What if somebody says they don't like my hair? What if somebody doesn't like this? What if someone this? What if they don't? Like, entertain the idea that as much as it could go bad, it could also go good. And also, a lot of people are scared of like looking cringe or like,
Yes.
putting themselves out there because they don't know how they'll be perceived. People have made millions of dollars because they were okay with being cringe.
Yes.
Like, you don't owe anyone an explanation. Your life doesn't have to make sense to anybody. If you know why you're doing exactly what you're doing, then you're going to do it no matter how it looks. We are limited by the fears that we have in our heads. The same people that you're thinking, what if I'm cringe? What if they're laughing at me? Well, what if they're not? What if they're proud of you for taking a step that they are still trying to convince themselves to take? Like, we always just go to like the worst part. And also another thing is, if we don't see the numbers growing as fast as we want to, we take it as a sign of failure.
This is not for me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, maybe it's this, maybe it's my phone, maybe it's my background, no, maybe because I'm not a rich kid, no, because you see what I'm saying? Like, you start to create every other reason as to why you shouldn't do it because you've had self-sabotaging conversations in your own mind, So we can be our own best friend, or we can be our own worst enemy. And the way our life is going to go is going to be dependent of that simple decision that we make. So just get out of your head if you know that in as much as you're being entertaining, my biggest thing is this: give value in everything that you do. Don't waste people's time. Even if it's just a kiki video, it's a joke, even if it's a vlog. If you're going to do something like a vlog, for example, show me your toothpaste, okay? Tell me the songs you're listening to.
Yes.
Tell me why you like this perfume and not this one.
Yes.
Tell me why you buy certain things. Like, can I at least, in as much as I'm being entertained by you, can I learn something from you? Because if I learn something from you, I'm more likely to keep on coming back because I'll be getting more valuable information every single time. But then we are just scared. We just end up just either doing absolutely everything or nothing, because again, it all goes back to what we tell ourselves in our minds.
Yes, and you brought in some good points. The first one that I'll write down is where you said you shouldn't be afraid of looking cringe. And I think it's something that a lot of people need to have in them. Like, even me personally, when I started like doing content, I thought every time I'm sharing on my status, like, guys, check out my podcast. And then at some point I was like, what if people are now like irritated? Like, why are you just showing us the same thing over and over and over? But I feel like it's important for you to just keep on pushing, because maybe you're reaching out to a new person, as well as when you are creating content. Because I also recently started doing TikTok as well, and you brought in something that is very important. Sometimes when you're starting out, numbers are not going to be there on your first video, not even on your maybe you can do 100 videos and you still don't get the numbers that you want. And then all of a sudden you just put one video and you're like, boom, okay, people can really be interested in this. So I think it's also about learning from your own videos and trying to study the analytics and see which one works, and you can figure out what works as you make more. But if you don't create, I don't think you can figure out what works.
That's true. And also, it's also about just the mindset shift. If you're going to say that, okay, I'm going to make 100 videos, I'll keep on posting even if I get 2 views. And like you've said, that your 101 video, you blow up.
Yes.
Let me tell you something about blowing up. When you blow up, it is much better when you have work that people can binge. What's the benefit of you just blowing up today and then now you have to focus on blowing up again and again and again tomorrow?
Yes.
It's a mindset shift. As you're getting your 100 views or your 50 views or your 20 views, tell yourself that there's something that I'm going to do soon enough that people are going to understand what I'm trying to put out in the world, and they are going to want to see more. And guess what? There will be more, because you did not give up when you were not seeing the results that you wanted. It's just a matter of just switching the mindset, and you'll find that it will start to bother you less and less and less and less when your views are not what you want them to, because you are of the understanding that it's just a matter of time.
Yes, it's just a matter of time, and consistency is key as well.
True.
Yeah, don't let the small numbers like really bring you down. And it's so funny that if we hear this from someone like Emma, we are going to think, but no, this is this the right person to be talking about numbers and small and
Yes, as the right person to be talking about the numbers, because before there was what's there was only me.
Yes.
Once upon a time, I created that page and no one knew me when I was creating it,
Yes.
you know. So who better than me? A better example is somebody who has done exactly what you want to do.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So sometimes when you find that there's somebody who is in a position that you aspire to be like, it's very important to open your ears and not actually go into it with a sense of, who does she think she is? Yeah, she thinks she's. You see, that's a problem with human beings. You get what I'm saying? Instead of learning from the people you should be learning from, you start to instead criticize them and try to make them feel bad for being courageous enough to teach you what they have valid proof works, because it's worked for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of mindset.
So what's one thing that has kept you going for the number of years that you've been doing content? I think, how long have you been doing it?
This is 2025, so I've been doing content creation for 6 years.
6 years.
Yes, I've been doing content creation for 6 years.
Throughout the 6 years, what's the thing that has kept you going, that has kept you showing up despite having a busy schedule? Because you are running businesses and you are also creating content so that the content can make your businesses visible. How do you... I'm asking another question.
Okay.
So how do you like bring in a balance and divide time to also focus? Because content creation is some piece of work as well. Yes.
Okay, so there's 2 questions. What has kept me going the last 6 years and how I balance everything. So what has kept me going the last 6 years is the fact that I genuinely feel that I have built a community. I like the saying that says, liked by few, but loved by many, because I have grown with the people I started with. I have shared my life, you know, as much as possible. And the thing about people is that we are emotional beings. And if we feel like, oh, when she started, her shop was in Helen Kaunda, now look at her, you know, we tend to feel like part of that growth because we watched it happen. You brought it to light for us, you see? So what keeps me going are those people, the people who decided that there are many other people that they can follow on social media, but they chose to follow my story, you know? Till today, there are people who know my business and it shocks me. But the fact that they care enough to even know, because it's not everyone who comes from a spiteful place. There are genuinely people who are just strangers on the internet, who are rooting for you, who want to see you doing well. And it's for those people that I continue to do it, because they are so near to my heart. I'm a stranger, but the people who follow me, the people who engage with my content are the ones who make Emma Kamau, and I'll forever be grateful. So it's not like I can meet all of them and buy everyone a car or anything like that, but I can express my gratitude by showing up even when I don't feel like it, because I know that the people who are watching me are waiting to learn something from me, So that's a very good driving force for me. And in terms of the way I balance, it's just something that I'm trying my best to work on. I can definitely say I'm in a much better place now. And what has helped me with that is having mental clarity.
Yes.
When you know why you're doing what you're doing, you're more likely to do it well. And after taking a step back and then coming back and realizing what was important to me, I was able to then assess to say, okay, this is a priority in my life. So this is something that I have to factor into my schedule. It's not enough to say I'll do something. It's a matter of actually doing it. Start to write it down. Start to breathe life into whatever idea you have. So what's going to make you easily balance many things is understanding what needs your attention the most at a specific time, and get the job done as soon as possible. Don't be the type of person who has things ringing in your head. For what? The only one who's distracted in all of that is you. And you will not think, you will not generate new ideas because your brain is stuffed with ideas that you haven't yet brought to life. You see what I'm saying? So being organized and understanding what is important at a specific time is what has helped me so much. I can't even begin to tell you more. I can't begin to tell you.
Yes. For a person, let me just give myself as an example, right? So I build websites and then I want to start creating content. How do I then bring in the aspect of the business into the content and then show people that this is the other side of me that I'm doing without coming out as somebody who's trying to sell badly? Because one thing that I've noticed is when you try to sell to people, like you're coming off as selling, you'd find that people will be uninterested. Like no one wants to watch an advert. And that's the reason why even when people work with content creators, they don't expect them to just start, buy this, buy that. So how do you package it all together?
The thing is, like I mentioned earlier, the secret sauce is you. And what you will look like to other people is none of your business. I always say this: other people's perceptions of you is none of your business. That is a conversation that they had with themselves within their head. That has nothing to do with you. You were not there, okay? All you have to focus on is making sure that you communicate a message. What message are you communicating? You're communicating a message that I am a young Zambian trying to pursue a business. I'm trying to create websites for people, and I'm talking about it. This is my reality. When you create your content, create content based off of that. Tell us, today, this is the step that I made towards my goal. I interviewed Emma. I set up a podcast. I did this. People want to see that. People want to see the side of the story. The people who are interested in your side. Because remember, it's not everyone who wants to be on the other side. There are people who are in the building side and are scared to build. You'll be the one showing people literally from where you started. In the next 5 years, I guarantee you, with the same amount of consistency, you're not going to be here. There are going to be people who are going to care to hear your story. But it will be better if there's visual proof of it. You see what I'm saying? So don't be so worried about how you come out and if you're tired. And if I respect the person who is willing to embarrass themselves to be seen, because that's the person who's hungry enough. That's the person who wants it bad enough. So there are people of that mindset. It's not everyone who's silly. It's not everyone who gets irritated. And if there's a person who gets irritated by you actively pursuing your dreams, then that's not a person you want in your corner in the first place.
Yeah.
So just continue to just build yourself. It's cringe, you build yourself. People are tired of hearing build, because the fact is you're still at the forefront of their faces, whether you like it or not. So just keep showing up. That's the best thing that you can do.
Yeah.
Just keep showing up.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting thought, because I was just thinking about it how do you really sell to people when you're on the internet and tell them, so this is really what I do? And I was also thinking in terms of for you, for instance, you've got different contents that you do and put up. So I was trying to ask how you kind of connect everything all together so that you can push financially.
Essentially, my business is in my content. That's what I was trying to communicate, you see. So I'm actually not new to series. I used to have a series where I would start and say, a day in the life of a young entrepreneur in Zambia. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm creating content. I'm vlogging my day, quite right. But I'm showing you what I'm doing. You will like what I'm doing. You will like a flower I've made. You will like a headpiece that I've made. And when the event comes, you will buy. So my little spend the day with me vlog has transferred into sales. That's why I'm saying become one with whatever you're doing, you see, and just communicate that message. You're going to find that you're actually not selling anything. You're actually communicating a message, and the people with a need for it are going to always remember you when the time comes, you see. So it's not a matter of separating the two things. It's finding a way to live your life and doing what comes naturally to you, then monetizing off of it. That's the key. Not to say that you have to flip the world separate, or you have to have a specific tactic that you have to do in order for you to... No. It all takes you being yourself and being confident enough to speak up about what you do, so that when people have a need for what you do, they'll remember you because you are always talking about it.
We are getting into a world where everyone is kind of becoming a content creator. And is that a good thing or is it a bad thing, if I was to ask?
I don't know. I think everyone should do what they want. But for me, I am a Christian and I believe in God. I believe I am God's princess through and through. And I believe in abundance. I believe that whatever has my name in it is not going to miss me, no matter how many people are in the space with me. And because I operate from that mindset, I never have to worry about things like that. This world is huge. People are building brands every single day. And fortunately, Zambia is in a place where I have worked with a good number of international brands, and they're still coming and coming and coming. So we can be thousands of us, but then marketing still needs to happen. Organizations are being built every single day, and marketing is visibility. You cannot convince me that they will get to a point where will be too many.
Yes.
That now, no, I don't operate from a scarcity mindset. Like I said already, what has your name on it is always going to be yours, whether you like it or not. You cannot fumble God's plans for yourself. So just keep it pushy. If everybody wants to be a content creator, be happy for them. I'm always happy when other people want to join the space, just because I have seen what it has done for me personally and how much my life has changed because of content creation. Why wouldn't I want that for another person, you know? And that's why I always am open about the benefits that it has given me, not because I want to brag about it, but because I want to encourage as many people so that they know that it's possible.
Yeah, it is possible. And I think that's a good point that you've brought up. And it's very important that if we have a lot of people showing up, it means the competition is even higher, and it helps people now to build more and more and more. And this now makes us realize the importance of us doing content.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking this especially to my audience, our audience for the podcast. I feel like a lot of people don't see the need of them creating content and showing up on social media. And this space can even help you to sell. Yeah, like we have a lot of developers in Zambia. But then if you look at the space that we have in Zambia, it's find that there are a few products that we can point and say, this is an application that was developed in Zambia. And one of the reasons why we don't have such is because of the marketing aspect of it. And something that is important for today when it comes to marketing is reaching people through the social media platforms that they are on. So that's something that we need to start considering and say, okay, this is really something that is important. What are some of the challenges that you've really come across in your entrepreneurship journey? Let's now talk about entrepreneurship that you think a young Zambian entrepreneur should learn from right now.
I was going to say I could write a book, but I did. Okay, so just off the top of my head, some of the challenges that a young entrepreneur is going to face is, first of all, thinking that it's going to happen exactly the way you have envisioned it in our heads. When we have these plans for ourselves and when we start this business, we tell ourselves to say, it's going to be big, my store is going to be beautiful, I'm going to be fully booked, I'm going to be sold out, and it can happen right away, but usually it doesn't. One common mistake is giving up before it happens. I always say this. People say that the beauty space, hair salons and journey is saturated. It's actually not. A lot of people are starting beauty businesses every single day. They are starting salons here by Shani because you don't even need the location. You can just be a student and you do something. But let me tell you what sets people apart and why I'm convinced it's not saturated. Because people don't stay long enough to survive the hard stage. Yes, people are starting every day, but people are giving up every single day. There are more people giving up than they are people start thinking. So yes, it looks like today there's a shiny and there's a new hair by what and but let's see how long they'll stay. I have been in that business long enough to see people open and close and understand that you have to stick it out sometimes. Yes, it's not your calling, but you have to be willing to stay through the hard stage.
Yes.
And another thing is being professional when you start.
Yeah.
A lot of us small business owners just say, no, because I'm starting, I don't have to do this and what and what and what. You will never be in a perfect place to start. So I don't aim at perfection, but know what you're doing. Have a structure, have a policy. When someone comes to you, this is the procedure for doing A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
Make people having to go back with and forth with you as less as possible. That's how you're going to guarantee results every single time. And that's what clients want as well. They want efficiency. When they come to you, they know that they can get this done as soon as possible. And it's a dead story. They don't feel like they have to keep on explaining to you, sending voice notes, doing whatever. You see what I'm saying? So make sure that you're keen on building structures. That's something that I didn't do. I just went there willy-nilly. As long as I got a client, then it's okay. No procedure, no policy, no time frames, no nothing. And I ended up making decisions that actually didn't work in my favor, that I still have to catch up to today. So making sure that you have those policies and systems and also pacing yourself and your growth. It's very easy to compete with other people who are in what you're doing and have already excelled, and you want to start reaching their level quicker, that you end up making a lot of mistakes. And also another thing is, even the same people who are inspired by and follow, who we think are the best at what we do, everyone is still learning. We're all just learning differently. And it's just a matter of what differentiates a good business from a bad business is what you do with the lessons you learn. That's it. But mistakes are made everywhere, on a big scale and on a small scale. So you shouldn't be so hard on yourself when you don't perform to a certain standard that you have matched up to in your head. Another point, okay, I'll just make this on the last one. Also, refusing to be honest about your finances.
Okay.
Yes, that's such a huge thing. For me, I thought if I got into the Lululand, then the problem will go away. You know, when you are the owner of the business, it is your business to fix it. It is your business to know how much you make, how much you spend, what you're investing in, what stock you're buying, everything, every Yango delivery, every 20 kwacha, everything.
Yes.
It's not that you're operating from a scarcity mindset, but you need surety. You need to have a clear understanding whether or not that business is working. And the only way you can know is if you are specific about how much money comes in and out of your business.
From a certain conversation that we had on the podcast, we are looking at e-commerce in Zambia. And one point that we raised in that was that we have a lot of people that are starting up e-commerce websites and companies. And then a few months down the line, you no longer see it because it doesn't go. So it's I'm linking it to what you were saying about your industry as well, where every day people are coming in, but every day people are leaving again. So it's something that perseverance is really hard, especially if you're in an entrepreneurship space. And this is an important point. Yeah. And also, what you've just talked about right now about being honest with yourself, I think as entrepreneurs and business people, you are building something that you want the world to see or that you want people to adopt to, and then you are not honest with yourself. Maybe you're overspending, like bringing in a lot of people into hiring a lot of people that you can't even manage to pay. That also kind of hinders your business, and that's good insights. What are tips that you can give to somebody who's starting out right now today? And after listening to you, somebody has gotten an inspiration to say, I want to get onto the entrepreneurship journey. Where do they start from? How do they start?
I'll always say this. You always start with exactly where you are, with exactly what you have. We limit ourselves. A lot of plans die. A lot of our plans die in the planning stage. Our dreams die there, because we keep on waiting. We keep on waiting for the perfect time. Oh, we're planning. No, let me do this. No. Figure out what is in your capacity to start now. Sometimes you could be at 0 kwacha and there's literally nothing you can do in regards to your dream because your dream costs money, okay? But what you do have is the time to put enough information in your head about what it is you're trying to do so that when the money comes, you know what to do. What happens if you win the lottery today and you've done no research on the business that you want to start?
Yeah.
I need people to get extremely obsessed with what it is they want to do. Just get so obsessed. everything, as soon as you open your phone, it's only your dream. That's all you see. Because sometimes that's all you can do, but it's enough. A lot of us are just sitting, waiting to know information. No, if your plan is to eventually get rich in whatever you're doing, even if you're not watching how to do a podcast, how to build a website, watch videos on how to manage money.
Yes.
Watch videos on saving, investing, learn. Use your free time to inform your brain with as much information as you possibly can, so that when it comes time to the doing stage, you have planned everything out. And another thing, start slowly. If you have a big dream, I'll give myself as an example. I wanted to open a salon. I didn't have the money to open the salon right there and there. But what did I do? Whenever I had a little money, I went and I bought mirrors and I hid them under my bed for months for my salon. I went and I bought a blower. Maybe I just went to China Mall and I went and I just got combs, Simple, small, little things. Compounding, getting 1% better is better than not doing anything at all. If you can just get 1% better every day, learn something that you didn't know every day. We underestimate the value of knowledge. We underestimate the value of information. Guys, educate yourselves on what you like. Make sure that you are so obsessed with it that when someone asks you a question, you're able to confidently talk about it, because that becomes a part of you. And when it becomes a part of you, it translates. Meaning that when you talk to people about it, you talk to it from a point of view of so much confidence, so much surety. I could be lying to you, but you wouldn't know, But because I know that I am so sure about what I'm talking about, because I am so obsessed with what I'm talking about, it's so easy for me to just come and sell it to you. And you buy, So just, become you, become a part of who you are, know who you are, and be able to communicate that message well.
Okay. That's important. Yeah, for everyone, for anyone who wants to start entrepreneurship, whether you're a developer or whatever it is that you do, you need to be confident in yourself and learn to sell. Like she said, she can come here, lie to us, but none of us will take note of.
I promise you, I will pitch you this mic and tell you nice things about this mic, and I don't know anything about it. Perception is everything.
Yes.
People don't know what you're going through, so tell them. Teach people how to treat you. Set a standard for yourself. If you speak with confidence, people wonder, who is this girl? Who does she think she is? Then okay, maybe I should behave in her presence. You see what I'm saying? It's all about you and how you position yourself in the world, because this really is your world. You get to decide. You are actually the main character. Everybody else is just something in your life, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you. So just stand strong in that. Know what you like. Be so clear on what your interests are, so that when you talk about it, you talk about it with confidence. When you find like-minded people, you're able to contribute to a conversation well. You're able to articulate yourself well, because you know what you're talking about, You don't have to know everything. Just know what you're interested in. That's it.
I'm learning a little, okay? Because I'm somebody who is like focused so much on like developing skills, but then when it comes to branding, when it comes to entrepreneurship, that was something that I'd put on hold for a while. And right now, what you're just saying, I'm getting ideas like, oh, so this is something that I need to do and step up. And I'm pretty sure people even know that this guy now is intentions. He's trying by all means to make us buy it, because in the business that we are in, especially, it's always important to convince people that they don't need your service. Because you might approach people that think this is already working out, and then what are you bringing to the table? So, for instance, if you build a system for, let's say, a shop, let's say you create a system for people who are running shops, and then you want them to use the system to be able to organize their finances and everything. They tell you, we're already doing this with the books that we are using.
Yeah.
So now how do you convince them? Then tell them, okay, confidence is very key.
It's very key. It can get you out of a lot of situations. Just do you behaving like you know everything will get you out of a lot of situations.
Yes, and this episode was really intentional, because I know a lot of developers in Zambia are not so good when it comes to turning on cameras, and we are living in a country where we are like, the tech space in Zambia is not really that big. Like we are teaching people that they do need services that we provide, and a lot of people don't really see it like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we have a lot of people coming on board and doing content on tech, we are really going to impact the communities.
Yeah, you will. That's true.
And one thing that I've also observed is we don't have a lot of people that really do this type of content. So if we are going to do it and we do it better, it means that even companies and brands will lean out to realize, okay, we can actually work with these people.
Yeah.
Because if we look at telecom companies in Zambia, we look at Yango and any IT company, they can't work with us because we don't really do this. But then if we were to do it and then we convince people that we really know our thing, those companies can easily work with us because they can be like, these guys have got knowledge and they can easily convince people because people have developed the confidence in them. And that's something that we need to build.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's a market here and a good one.
Yeah, it's very.
I just don't share my ideas.
Yes.
But there's a very good market, and I feel like you should capitalize on it or find a way to integrate content creation also with web building and everything else that you do. Because like you've already stated, we are in a digital divestment about to change.
Yes.
So if you can't beat them, join them. I know it's not simple when you're the tech guy, you're the background guy. You never was like a camera person. Sometimes they don't want to be the one captured. But you're telling a story and you are trying to differentiate yourself. No one can explain you like you because you are the only person who knows what it takes to be you. So you can hire people, you can do this and it will help. But there's something about a personal touch. There's something about the knowing what the values of that person are and then supporting their business.
Yes.
It's like what we said in the beginning. So many people are doing it. Why are we going to choose you? You're failing to tell us our story. We'll go to somebody else's story. You see, it's that simple because people are spoiled for choice. Clients are spoiled for choice. So if you can differentiate yourself, the thing that makes you uncomfortable usually is the thing that takes you exactly where you need to be. So even if you don't like creating content, before you brush it off completely, try it.
Try it. Give it a try. And don't give up after one video.
Or 10,
Or
20. Don't keep going it if you want. Yeah, if that's what you want, just keep on doing it. Eventually, the world will catch up to your goodness, I promise.
Says, and about talking about giving up, one thing that I've observed, even before somebody follows you, they have to view your profile. You say, how long has this person been? And
Because no one wants to follow someone and then you don't give me anything else that I saw that I liked, So it's like, if I follow you because I liked one video and there are a bunch of other videos like it, I'll be so happy to keep was even engaged in an interactive because I know I'm sorted, I'm entertained, or I'm going to learn. So I'll definitely follow and engage. So just keep on doing it. Don't give up.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're going to conclude the conversation. And just before we go, do you have any last words that you would love to say?
Any last words that I'd like to say? I just dare you to be courageous. I dare you to try something that you haven't tried before. I dare you to bet on yourself and your dreams and your plans in your head. I dare you to take yourself seriously. I dare you to force yourself in rooms where you know you're meant to be. Create space for yourself and take up space. I wish that you wouldn't say you're shy. I hope not to hear what will people think.
Yeah.
You need to understand the fact that people's opinions do nothing for your life. They're just words that are not even said to your face. So before you use that as a tool or as a reason to not pursue your dream, think about the fact that whether or not you pursue your dream, everyone else's life is going to continue just the same. So you might as well do what you want because they are going to say something regardless. Cringe has made people millions, real millions, buying the mansions and cars and everything. You're limiting yourself because you're worried about what people think. Again, other people's opinions on you are theirs alone. It has nothing to do with you. So just go for your dream. It's okay. If you fail, so what? If you fall, so what? If you're cringe, so what? Did you die? No. At least you respect yourself more because you tried than the person who said they want to do all these things and it just ended on words. At least you have the self-respect of knowing that you tried. And that alone is already going to set you apart from everybody else in your space.
All right. So for anyone who wants to find you, where do they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Emma Kamau, TikTok, Emma Kamau, YouTube, Emma Kamau, Threads, Emma Kamau, Facebook, Emma Kamau, everything.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on the Tech Convo Podcast with me, your host, Chims, and my guest for today, Emma Kamau. It has been an exciting and amazing conversation that we've had. So I hope to see you next time. And if you have any thoughts, please do share in the comment section. Anything that you'd want to see from us again, or just anything. Just share your thoughts about the conversation we've had and questions too. Yes, so that we can have a whole conversation outside the video. Yes. Thank you very much for joining us. Bye.
Bye bye. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, please. Thank you.